Okay, so how I am going to correct the areas of my face using the BH Cosmetics concealer and corrector palettes. I love this. I'm going to put this on the areas of my face that have darkness, such as this acne scarring right here on my cheek, the darkness around my muzzle, and I have some darkness around my eyes that I would like to conceal. So what I'm going to do is, for my skin tone, I am going to go in with this nice peachy salmon color right here, and I am just going to begin to apply this with my fingers in the places that I feel are dark. Now, I really like this product because it just applies so smoothly with the fingers. I love it. You warm it up when you apply it with your fingers, and it just goes on like a dream. I also like how it dries, and notice that I'm patting it on and not trying to rub it. I'm putting it on with patting motions. That works out awesome for me. Because this spot is a little dark, I'm also going to take some of the darker shade, the more orangey shade corrector, and I'm going to take a little bit of that, and I am going to mix that in with the pink to almost completely cover that spot. Now I am going to also be using my BH Cosmetics foundation that I absolutely love. And I'm trying to get my brush, y'all forgive me, I should have had it out already. And I am just going to wet my brush a bit, and I am going to take my BH Cosmetics foundation, and I believe, let's see, this is in the color, y'all forgive me, this is in the color Golden Beige, and that is M5. And I am going to put the foundation right on my brush, a pump and a half, and just dot on my face. Okay, and what I like to do with my foundation is I like to kind of stipple it on. So like I'm really pushing that foundation into my skin with the brush. But this foundation is so fabulous till it really don't take much. That pump and a half gives awesome coverage. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back into the corrector palette, because it is a conceal and correct palette, and I am going to use the lightest shade, which is this one here, and I am going to do my under eye highlight. Well, I'm going to highlight all the places that I highlight. I love this color because it is a subtle highlight. For me, it's not a drastic, dramatic highlight. As I said, this concealer is so awesome. It almost sets itself. It's like you almost don't even need a powder to set it, but of course you're going to use a powder to set it. But look at that. Pretty highlight. Not dramatic. Just pretty. I like putting it on with my fingers because it warms up and it just spreads so evenly. I love this palette. It is just like a all-in-one, just good for everything. I love it. Love that. Yes. Gorgeous. Subtle highlight. It's got to get that old spot right there. Okay, now go in on the middle of my forehead. Telling y'all, don't sleep on the finger application because it just applies so nicely using your fingers. Cupid's bow, and then on the chin. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with my foundation brush, no extra product added, and just do a little pouncing motion just to blend out the edges, just to make sure I got everything nice and blended and smooth so that there are no harsh lines whatsoever. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to set my under eye area, and what I'm going to use to do that is the BH Cosmetics pressed powder, Studio Press powder, Studio Pro powder in shade 215, and I'm going to do that with just flathead brush, and I'm just going to get that powder on there, and I'm going to tap that powder on, really pressing it into that under eye area. Really set that area well. I like this powder because it does not give the dreaded flashback. Now I am going to do a little contouring, and I'm going back into that same palette, and I'm going to use the darkest shade there, and I'm just going to put that on my finger. And that is just going to give me a subtle little contour right around your hairline. Circular motions. Make sure it's all blended really pretty. Okay. Make sure we're going into the hairline. I mean, you know, not putting makeup in your hair, but okay. Back with that foundation brush one more time, just to make sure everything is blended. And that is it. Okay, now I am going to set my contour, the Forever Nude palette. Okay, and for my cheeks I am going to be using the darkest shade in the palette. Ooh. Now I'm just going to get a little of that on my brush. And apply that. Take it up into the hairline. Ooh, that's pretty. Look at that, y'all. And you just barely have to touch it barely have to touch it. That is gorgeous. Ooh wee. Okay. Now I am going to do around my jawline, up under the neck. Gotta hide this chub chub. I love that. I am looking so bronzy. Yes. Okay. Then I think that I am going to go back with that flat top brush, and I'm going to get a little bit of this highlighter in the palette. This one here. Just to brighten up under my eyes just a little bit more. Gorgeous. Very, very pretty. I might well take that down the nose. Ooh, it's pretty. On the chin. Middle of the forehead. Yes, I'm feeling that. That is gorgeous. Coming together pretty nicely. Yes. Okay, now we'll go in with blush. Ooh-wee. That blush is gorgeous. And you just barely have to touch it. I'm telling you. So pigmented. Just barely touch it. And it is there. Okay. For a highlight, I am going to use the highlighting color in the palette, and I will just sweep that right on the highest points of my cheeks. Y'all know I love highlighter, forgive me. Okay. A little bit of that down the bridge of the nose. It's a nice subtle highlight. On the chin. On the Cupid's bow. Okay. And since we have such bright eyes, I am going to do a really pretty neutral kind of lip. There we go. And that is it. That is it. So, yes. That's the look.